50 years, the Lindale Ministry has given second chances to men who are leaving prison, and now, after a fire destroyed the director's home, the East Texas community is rallying around them. KLTV7's Zori Jones is telling us how.
I heard a boom, and then I heard another boom, and I was like, what is going on?
The home is owned by Calvary Commission, where Jody Foss serves as a campus director and lives with his family. Crews arrived Tuesday afternoon to find the garage in flames. Lindale and Red Springs Fire Department saved most of the house, but Ann Foss says the commission had no insurance to cover the damage, dropped by its providers years ago because it is a nonprofit.
The biggest thing that we lost was all of our Christmas ornaments that were in the attic. 30 years of memories.
The Foss family carries a lot more than memories. They carry a mission. Joshua Flores is a third-year intern at Calvary Commission and a living example of it.
Receiving that ministry myself, that training and that instruction, it's made me a better man. You know, as a Christian, as an employee, as a husband, as a son. And so really the impact has been pretty immeasurable.
Flores is one of many lives changed here. Now the community is returning that same grace, offering the family a rent-free home, a loaner car, and Red Cross support while they rebuild.
The scripture that the Lord gave me this morning was that He gives us beauty for ashes. The oil of joy for gladness, and the spirit of praise, garments of praise for the spirit of heaviness. And that's where we are.
Zori Jones, KLTV 7 News.
That cause of the fire is under investigation.